In Mount Juliet, where school security cameras captured what you're seeing here, winds from the EF1 tornado that tore through there. Fox 17 News' Maggie Lemaire is live in Mount Juliet tonight with a closer look at the video and the damage. That video is something.
Yeah, that video is definitely something. It gives you a closer look at kind of what that storm looked like as it was coming through here. Well, I'm just across the street from that school right now, close to some of the homes that were most heavily impacted. As you can see right by me, tons of debris in this person's yard, and the home actually that I'm right next to, the side of the garage and the front of the garage were taken off, ripped off from that tornado. But what's unique about some of that video is that most people only see the damage that occurred from the tornado after the storm is over, not what happens during it. Take a look at this. Cameras at Mount Juliet Elementary School showing full force winds, rain, and almost a blizzard-like view at its playground Saturday morning. This storm bringing an EF1 tornado with peak winds of 105 miles per hour. Winds strong enough to do this to a swing set. Despite the stunning video, Bart Barker with Wilson County Schools says they had minimal damage on the roof.
We're very fortunate considering the circumstances. We know our families across the way, especially over in Willoughby Station, not as fortunate, but here at the school itself came out very, very light in damage. Barker is talking about the neighborhood just across the street where Warren Bondi and his family live.
It is what it is, you know, it's just stuff. So we're safe, and that's all that matters. You know, I'm a Katrina kid. I'm born and raised Louisiana, New Orleans, and so essentially that's how we're looking at it, right?
Bondi and his family hunkered down during the storm, a storm that ripped off the side and front of their garage, spreading debris everywhere.
We can get more stuff, we can buy more things, we can fix the house, we can build the house again, whatever, but they're here and they're safe, so it's all that matters.
According to the National Weather Service, the most significant damage took place in this subdivision, where roof, exterior, and trees remain a mess. Even with plenty of cleanup ahead, this storm reminds Bondi of what's most important.
It's not a big deal when you're like, my family's okay and my kids are okay.
And a reminder of just how powerful Mother Nature can be.
The mayor in Dawson Springs, Kentucky, says about 75% of his tiny town is gone. Tonight, we're hearing about some people who were not only survivors of the devastating tornado, but they quickly jumped into action to help their neighbors. Fox 17 News photojournalist Ryan Brooker shares the story of Jim and Jackie Gordon, a couple of hometown heroes who stepped up when their neighbors needed it the most.
I seen it was coming straight for us, and I told my husband it's time to go to the basement.
It was lightning and thunder and raining, and it got dead still quiet, and I laid my hand up on the window, and I could feel the window moving in and out. I run over there where she is at, up in the corner of the house, and held her tight, and about that time it slammed into the side of my house.
And we heard the house start ripping apart. And he grabbed me and throwed me underneath the work table with him. And when it quit, all we could hear was people screaming for help.
When it was over, I got a flashlight, looked her over, she looked me over, and we was breathing. Dug my way out of the basement down there and turned my natural gas off, and I heard all kinds of screaming and wailing and crying and hollers for help. Awful. I told Jackie I had to go help him. I went and got the first aid kit out of my truck, got some water out of the refrigerator, some towels, and carried them down there to my wife. Met two boys down there on the street somewhere, I don't even know who they are. We started helping people.
And he brought people over the debris into our house and told me to take care of them, that they needed help.
We started dragging them into the basement because all we knew another one was coming. At the end of the day, we had almost 14 people down there, all sorts of injuries.
We had a son and a grandma We brought in here a woman and 2 of her babies. We had another elderly lady that he pulled out of the rubble, and we had 3 more people that was down the street from us.
We had a broke ankle or foot, head injuries, eye injuries. We had 2 broke arms, a concussion, shock, bewilderment. Just couldn't believe it was happening. I mean, we had, beat, bloody, and bruised. I mean, every one of them. I mean, we dug one poor guy we dug out from underneath the refrigerator over there in his basement.
My husband, he saved a lot of people. He's a hero. That was my husband. He told me to stay calm, that we had to help these people. And he just went out there amongst all the rubble and just was dragging them in. And then somebody told me they found my neighbors that lived kind of back behind me. They didn't make it.
I mean, it was awful now. I'm just telling you, it's awful. I served during the Persian Gulf War. This is the worst thing I'd ever seen. I mean, that's all I can say.
A small community hit by a big storm. While some structures are still standing, some residents are left without homes and just some debris that surrounds me.
And I was getting prepared to leave this world.
Richard Freeman of Big Rock, Tennessee, telling Fox 17 that he had moments to take action when a tornado ripped through his community.
I noticed the hook echo just a few miles from us, and I knew I had to go.
That's when Freeman grabbed his dog and toddler before running down to this storm shelter on his property.
One time I thought it was coming out of the ground. I thought it was going to tear up. I thought it was going to come out of here.
Winds roaring and hitting the shelter. Freeman worried that his child would be ripped from his hands, holding on tight to his little boy.
I said to the Lord, if you're going to take him, you got to take me. I'm not leaving without him. Excuse me, but I had to say it.
Freeman says it was unlike anything he's ever seen.
I've experienced 5 tornadoes, and this is just doesn't even compare to the others.
And now, days later, Freeman is forced to start from scratch. 15 acres of property now left damaged.
And every piece of property I have is damaged in some way. I have nothing that isn't damaged. From horse trailers to trucks, tractors, barns, home, everything on.
Now, Freeman also tells me he does have a couple of horses on property. Luckily, both were left unscratched, and he tells me that he's just thankful that everyone was able to make it out alive.